Bastrop, Texas is well known for its rich history, natural beauty, and an authentic vibe that you just can't find anywhere else. The city of Bastrop is proud to bring you Overheard at City Hall, a podcast aimed at bringing you, our community, inside the walls of City Hall to get to know the hardworking men and women of the city of Bastrop who wake up every day to serve you, our citizens. Join us as we discuss the many topics that on any given day may be overheard at City Hall.
Hey Bastrop City Manager Paul Hoffman here, and you're tuned in to Overheard at City Hall. And this morning we're visiting with Library Director Bonnie Pearson, and we're going to talk about all the cool stuff going on at the Bastrop City Library. So you're the Library Director.
I am the Library Director.
I find that interesting. You know, not long after you and I met, you made it really clear to me that that was never going to happen.
Not going to happen.
That wasn't what you had in mind for your career.
Nope.
All right, things change, right?
Things change. You're very, very convincing that that's what I should do.
Yeah.
You made some really good points. How about
good.
that? You made
I'm glad.
Some very good points about where the library should be going and what you thought the vision for the library was, and I agreed.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. So how's it going so far?
It's going good.
Yeah, you ready for the summer?
We're almost there. I mean,
yeah.
So it's an 8-week program, you know, so we've got a lot of stuff going on. But we are ready for the first week, so we're ready to kick it off.
Okay.
Yes.
And it'll be a lot different from last summer.
It will be a lot different.
Yeah.
Last summer, we were totally virtual, and this year we have some in-person things going on. Yes.
Yeah, and not to discount all the work that went into providing services last summer. Mm-hmm. You and a lot of libraries across the state really had to get creative and innovative in how you continue to connect with the community and provide safe services to the community. So thank you for all that.
Thanks.
And I think we can celebrate the fact that we're not looking for the same kind of service delivery approach this summer.
We are very excited that we do not have to do the same that we did last year.
So what's on tap for summer of 2021?
Summer 2021. Well, when we started planning for this summer, we didn't really know exactly what we would be facing.
Sure, right.
So we were pretty conservative in how we were going to approach this summer. So even though this summer will look different than last year, it's going to look very different than it was the year before. We're really focusing this year on reading, and we want people to sign up, and we want people to
People of all ages.
Yes, people of all ages. We do kids, we do teens, we do adults, and we want all of them to sign up, but we want them to finish the program. So to finish our program, kids need to read 500 minutes, and adults need to read 1,000 minutes.
And what do they need to read?
They can read anything. You can read a library book, you can read your own book, you can read a magazine, you can read a website, and we do allow people to listen. So if you listen to audiobooks for minutes, because we keep minutes, if you listen, we allow people to count that time also.
So city council members who are reading the city manager's weekly memo and how interesting all of that is, those minutes count.
It's very interesting, it's riveting.
And thank you for that. See, I knew I made a good choice. So those minutes count.
Those minutes count, and if they read their whole city council packet also,
oh my,
that's a lot of minutes.
That's a lot of minutes.
It's a lot of minutes, so all the city council members should sign up.
That's great. Okay, so what else is happening this summer?
What else is happening? We have some programming going on.
Right.
The first week, to encourage people to come to the library, we have a little special activity every day that is just fun. Mm-hmm. Our first day, we are having an endangered species scavenger hunt in the library. And the second day, we are asking our patrons to vote on their favorite animal sound. And then the librarians at 5:30 on Facebook will make the top sounds. So we're going to do some animal sounds on Facebook. It should be quite funny.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all the hard work that goes into keeping things interesting and cool. Of course, a lot of us think what goes on at a library on a day-to-day normal basis is interesting and cool anyways.
I do.
Right? So
Yes.
So talk a little bit about why people come to the library, who comes to the library, what happens on a normal day-to-day, what kind of services do you provide?
Okay. So when most people think about the library, they right away think about books.
Sure.
I mean, always. Books, and we always get the whole shh. And you've been to our library.
No.
We are.
I haven't
we are
been
not quiet.
yet.
You haven't been shushed because
No.
we are not a quiet library.
Right.
But on a day-to-day basis, we have a lot of different people come in. Of course, we have children. Little kids, we do a story time
Right.
twice a week. Well, once a week right now, but twice a week during the summer. And so we have parents with kids. We have teenagers come in. We have older people come in, and they do check out books. And that's what people think about. But a lot of what we do is really service-based. So we help people. A lot of printing, a lot of printing.
So, like technology
Technology
needs.
and
Okay.
setting people's, we've helped people set up their Kindles before. We've helped people download, we have an app called Libby so that people can read ebooks.
Okay.
And so we help them download that app and then show them how to actually download a book and how to read it and bookmark it and all those kind of things.
Reference services?
That's what, that is actually called
Yeah.
reference services.
Okay.
Anything that we do where
Okay.
people come and ask us a question is reference service. So every time somebody comes and says, hey, I want to print this from my phone, how do I do that? That counts as a
Sure.
as a reference. And so
Okay.
we do that. We have a wireless printer, and people come and print things from their phones, print things from laptops. Just right now, my mind, of course, went blank because we're sitting right here. But
you did great.
We do have a lot of things that people come to the library
So one of
for.
the things you've been doing recently is completing a 5-year plan for the
Yes.
library, and that's
Yes.
all part of the accreditation process, which of course is important and sets us up for grant funding and that sort of thing. So just in general, what do you see happening with the library over the next 5 years? What are you aspiring to be?
What are we aspiring to be? So the 5-year plan is really about the library connecting to the community.
Right.
And I believe we're already an important part of the community.
Yep.
I'm a little biased, but I
Right.
do believe that we're an important part of the community. But it's really important that we reach out to the community and find out what they want us to be. So that involves partnerships with people and doing more outside of the library, some outreach and going and showing what we can do. A great example of that is we've partnered with BISD and with their ACE program this year. And all of our program with them was virtual this year, but I just spoke to the ladies at ACE, and hopefully next year the library can go to ACE too, not just be virtual. So that's some of the things that's in our 5-year plan, is moving outside of the library to share the library outside the doors.
Well, that's really cool. And of course, things change, technology changes, the way people obtain information changes, how people access what they read changes,
Definitely.
right? And, and from time to time I hear people wonder out loud about the importance of libraries in today's society and moving forward. And, the library there'll always be a place for the library to be that central place that you can trust to come into and get good information. And I'm particularly partial to city libraries, of course. I've been city manager of communities without the library being a city department. I think you told me that the Bastrop Library became a city department back in the mid-'70s or something.
Mid-'70s,
and
yes.
In some communities even larger than Bastrop, that local library isn't directly tied to the city. Maybe it's a special district, maybe it's connected to the county, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I mean, they're still providing those same kind of services. But the opportunity for that connection with everything else that the city is doing is really important.
It is very important.
Especially, I think, in a community like like Bastrop, where we really do have a sense of our unique history,
Right.
and you are located downtown,
Right downtown.
and downtown is really important to us. But just to make sure we're at least internally collaborating well with how we message to the community, the events we put on, that there's a lot of really great opportunity there that's lost if it's not part of the city. That's really cool.
And being part of the city, we have some really great opportunities. We have a great relationship with the police department.
Yeah.
During the summer, we have Storytime with a Cop, which
Right.
is probably one of the best things ever to
I'm
see
sure it
the
is.
guys come in their uniforms and the little kids' eyes get huge, right? They're like, "Oh,
Right.
the police are here."
Well, that is so important for
It's
so
very
many
great.
reasons. Yeah.
Right. And so we do that, but then also another partnership that we do with the police department, they do child seat safety, and they actually do child seat safety checks.
Right.
I think it's at the end of September. But we have the police officers come in and we talk about why it's important that the kids are in their safety seat. And I think it's really important that they hear it from the police officer and not just from mom, right? I need you to put your seatbelt on. And when the police officer says, hey, you need to do that, I think it makes a big impact.
Yeah, and you mentioned something to me, not long after we first met, about the library serving as the third space.
Okay.
Tell me what that means.
What a third space is.
Yeah.
Since I said that to you, I think I've had to explain it to about 100 people
Sorry.
since that time.
Yeah, no,
So
but I think it's a
apparently
really.
you keep talking about
I
this.
do. It's a really cool concept.
So third space is a concept that people have three places that they're comfortable, where they feel welcome, where they feel relaxed. So one would be home, hopefully. Mm-hmm. The second would be work or school. And
Right.
then the third space, you need another place. And for some people, that may be their church. And for others, it may be the library. And so we do provide that space for people where they feel welcome and comfortable, and then they can relax, and they know that there's a friendly face. And I like to think that our library is a very friendly place. We get a lot of people who comment on our good customer service.
You are a very friendly place.
And
Yeah.
so we really try. We try
Yeah.
to make that personal connection. Again, people think about libraries and think about books, and some people think about technology, but I really hope that people think about the people at the library. People are the most important thing.
Well, and I think that resonates with me and others because intuitively I think we get that, right? It's about how we're wired. We're wired to be attracted to safe places. We're wired as social animals, and we're wired for community, and that's
Right.
safety, social stuff. That's all about community, and that's why I'm pretty convinced, even as technology advances and maybe we come at some point in the future completely paperless, maybe not, there's always going to be a thing about the place. It's City Hall really can't do that,
No.
right? I mean, City Hall is obviously
It's obviously a place.
and it's a safe place,
Yeah.
but it's more about the government decision making and formality and all of that, right?
Right.
You come to City Hall to take care of business. You go to the library for all kinds of reasons,
Right.
and
Lots of
again,
reasons.
and you want to be able to trust what's going on there. You want to trust the information you're receiving. I like having the library as kind of the messaging extension of the city,
Yes.
right? I mean,
Oh,
there's
yes.
there's customers that you deal with, people who frequent the library and pay attention to the information you publish, like your newsletter, and that's their number one connection with the city of
Exactly.
Bastrop, other
Yes.
than we make sure the trash gets picked up once a week, right?
Right.
And so if I can say it this way, I want to take advantage of that and make sure we're consistent and in alignment in that messaging. It's really all about community.
It is all about the community. And I agree, as a library, we need to be a trusted source of information. I think for the most part, people do believe that what they hear at the library is going to be the truth. And my staff and I really believe that is of utmost importance. We work really hard at creating messages and then making sure that everyone is communicating the same message. So when someone comes in, they're not going to get, well, this information about story time this day and this information about story time on the next day. And that's a really simple example, but it is a challenge that everybody gives the same message. So, but that is one thing that we really work at. And I do believe, just like you, that the library we can be the face of the city too.
Yeah, no, it's really good to hear you describe it that way. And members of your team, you've got a great team of professionals who, and I say this a lot, who are in it for the right reasons.
Definitely.
Right? They just want to serve, and that's really heartwarming. So before we wrap up, let's go back to where we started with the summer reading.
Summer reading,
yeah,
okay.
It's got a name. What are you calling it?
So our summer reading program theme is tales, like animal tales, and tales, stories. So tales and tales.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Our logo has a whale on it this year. It's really cute. There shall be a banner up on Banner Plaza with our whale, so it should be fun. We also have a big banner in the library where you can come and take a picture with our whale. So we're encouraging people to come and take a picture with the whale.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Well, Bonnie, really enjoy visiting with you in a public kind of way, but in non-public ways too, and getting to know you better and getting to know your team better. And I personally feel really blessed that to be associated with you guys. So,
well, thank you very much. We are very happy that you're here too.
Oh, well, it's nice of you to say.
My staff and I do believe that the city is a really great place to be, and we really think that the city's going to do some great things, and we're glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, me too. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.